What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream. We're back in our Gas Course project, an action game built from scratch using Unreal Engine 5, of course, the gameplay ability system plugin, C++ blueprints, and all that good stuff. So last time we started working and implementing our melee trace subsystem. We left it in a pseudo working state, but mostly a broken state. But we're going to try to fix that today. Give me a second here. I'm echoing. My bad. There we go. So yeah, sorry about that. So we're going to fix what we wanted to fix, which was basically how we're invoking it. And right now when we just do it, it draws forever because we don't tell it to stop. So we basically need to invoke it, label it with, I guess, a GUID, and then during our animation notify state, open it, start it, and then close it on end. So that's what we're gonna try to do today. And I'm not too familiar with GUIDs, so we're gonna try to figure that out as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So I did create a notify state class, so I need to find that as well. System, subsystems, melee trace. Notify state. No, we need to override the begin and the notify end. Hello, just dropping by. Recently, I just can't match with your streams. Oh man, no problem. Pop in for as long as you can. It's much appreciated. So get notified name. We can probably override that too. Receive notified tick. I don't think we need to use tick for any reason. We could update the notified color if we wanted to, which would be nice, but I don't think we want to do anything much with the editor side of things. So let's just grab what we want to grab. So far, I don't really care about the color. So let's just grab these guys. And then I don't need the engine APIs. Oops. And I assume I have to do overrides. Just forget if the override needs to come before or after the const. So we're going to find that out now, I suppose. So let's try to compile that. Then I'm going to ask the AI assistant how to work with GUIDs, honestly, before I even try to go to Google. So how to use GUID. GUID globally unique identifier is a 128-bit value used to uniquely identify objects or entities. Using GUIDs in Unreal Engine 5 is useful for creating unique trace request identifiers, tracking objects, networking, and more. Cool. So steps to use GUIDs. Okay, so we need to include either in core minimal or in just GUID. Misk. Hey, thanks for the follow, Unity Fire. How you doing? Thanks for popping in. So yeah, we need to include it. We need to generate it. The FGUID constructor has 4 components: A, B, C, and D. Blah blah blah. So I definitely would need to include it in my struct properties. So we can probably do that first and foremost. While this thing is compiling elsewhere. So a private function cannot be a Blueprint native event. Boom. Oh, hey! Thanks for subscribing as Twitch Prime. Welcome. Okay, a private function cannot be a Blueprint implementable event. Do I have to make this public? Let's see what happens. But yeah, let me go back into the base class here, because yeah, it's not really public. So it's weird that that's giving me a problem. So override a U function get name in parent cannot have a U function declaration. Oh, okay, because yeah, it's overriding, so we don't need these actual things. Okay, derp. All right, so that should be kosher now. Let's try again. And then again, in the meantime, let's go back into our subsystem. Let's give it a GUID in our property. I don't think it has to be a U property. I think it can just be a thing that we can track locally. So FUID, trace ID. And then yeah, it says we need to include that, but we do have core minimal. But let's take out core minimal. Do that. Okay, so we have a syntax error, of course. Can't tell if the override's supposed to go after or before the const. I guess I should also implement those functions. It's gonna just yell at me again. But less so now. So yeah, every override's gonna be at the end. Then yeah, let's go ahead, generate all that good stuff. And let's return the appropriate value here. So we're gonna do return, can I say like f string and then say like melee trace? We're gonna work through this over time. But yeah, for everything else, let's just return true. And let's start working on our data again. So yeah, don't think it needs to be public. I think it could just be in there. And then we gotta just generate it, right? So the benefit of using a GUID, unlike integers or strings, a GUID is guaranteed to be unique across the entire application. So that's good. That's why we want it. We can have a unique identifier for each time we're invoking a melee trace so that we can start a trace, know which one it is, and then remove it when we want to. We want to make sure we pair it correctly. Excuse me. So when we need to make a new request, so we basically have to say request ID, and we gotta store it. So is there a way for us to have some sort of persistent GUID? Let's see. Melee trace notify ID. And then basically I more or less have to say something like this where, you know, unnotify begin. I could say melee trace notify ID equals FGUID new ID. And then this is where I would be like, okay, find trace with GUID and end it. So let's see if we have any problems with that implementation so far. Okay, so a bunch. So still something wrong here. Method with override specifier cannot override any base class method. So I have to be like, I don't have to say virtual, right? Okay, so I think. Okay, so I took the wrong. I took the wrong events. So we gotta grab these guys. Let me nuke you. Try that again. Let's take that. Should have known better. Okay. Now let's find the appropriate. I should be able to override the. Should be able to override that function, right? So you get notify name. Guess not. I guess let's not worry about it then. 10 times the charm. Okay, we succeeded. Hell yeah. Okay, so now that we succeeded, we can go back into our melee trace subsystem here. Now, when we invoke, like, request sphere melee trace, for example, right? We also should supply an FGUID. Trace ID. Like that. And then we just gotta say new melee trace like that. Same thing down here. I feel like there's a lot of redundant code, honestly. Like, I feel like this could be cleaned up to like a more straightforward thing. Where basically I need to just do like this. Ah, need to do this. And then, so if, else, should be fine. So it's all written like that. Now I need to, yeah, rather do that, I need to make a new function, I believe. Where it's, so you function, blueprint callable, yes. I want to say maybe bool. Maybe we can have a helper function. But also something like you function like that. Yeah, I need cancel. Melee trace. There you go. Let's implement these bad boys. I don't know if this should also be true, like a bool. Maybe. And then I should be able to. So is melee trace in progress? Can I? How do I get the? So how to access queue? We have a TQ, blah blah blah. Adding a request. Yeah, this creates a request. Blah blah blah. So I got to do it. So is queue actually like the best way to handle this? If I can't even like access it? So can I access all from TQ? No, you cannot directly access all elements of TQ because TQ is designed as a thread-safe first in, first out container. It doesn't provide direct access to all its elements at once, nor does it expose iterators, blah, blah, blah. If you need to access all elements, you would have to extract TQ them manually or use a different container. So if you need to access all items without losing them in the queue, you can dequeue all elements from the queue. Okay, so maybe I could do it like that. So TRA F melee requests, and then while not empty. Yeah, I should be able to just do that. And then, so for const f blah blah blah. Like that. And then I could just return false otherwise. So what essentially is happening here is I'm making an array of these requests, and then I'm going through each one and putting them into this request array. So while it's not empty, I'm dequeuing each one. And then I return whether or not the ID matches the trace ID that we're checking for. I'm not sure if this is going to work. We'll have to double check that, but that seems valid. and then cancel melee trace. We might have to do the same thing again. But then grab this. Maybe that'll work. Let's see what happens. Let's see if that compiles. Fingers crossed, chat, that we get this. Because this is just the tip of the iceberg for what we want to try to do. You know, if we're able to enqueue and properly cancel or, you know, invoke it. We're right now doing it just for Sphere, but we will want to support other shapes. Have I tried any new games recently? No. I'm still working on Ghost of Tsushima. I think I'm like, I'm almost done. I'm in Act 3 for sure. And I'm like, I think I'm, you know, once the screen doesn't go black. Yeah, I'm almost 50 hours in. Me and my girlfriend were playing Split Fiction. I don't know how far we are in that. I hope maybe around halfway. But yeah, after I play through Ghost of Tsushima, I want to take a break from these longer open world games. I kind of want to jump into I want to try Sifu. I want to try. I do have Slay the Spire, so maybe I'll play that. Also have interest in Solar Ash. I have a bunch of like tiny games that I want to kind of go through, just to check out. Okay, so we're having a compile error. Why did the music stop? That's just loading. Okay. That should be okay. Let me reload YouTube for a sec. Definitely struggling. The struggle is real. And maybe I can make an internal function that does the same thing. Because I could just say, like, is it in progress? Yeah, maybe that's what I can do. Let's see if that will work. Because I feel like having redundant code like this is kind of dumb. So I wonder if I could just say so bool b trace found, and then I could say it is melee trace in progress, and then if I feel like because I would need the actual object as well. So I'm not sure if actually this is the right move. Um, And for some reason, YouTube is just not letting me play music at the moment. Is it letting me play anything? My internet connection that bad? So I wonder if it should also, is Melee Trace in progress, should also return the, not hit result, F, like that. And then I can just maybe make something like and I can just say like that. Can I do, I can't do a null pointer for structs, I guess. I hate the fact that YouTube isn't letting me play music. Let me, is there anything? Big oof. That's a shame. Is there anything? No. Okay. So we're gonna sit here, not in awkward silence, but something like that. Um, we should be able to do something very similar. Something like this, and then pass this along. And then I should be able to say this, and then return false. Be able to nuke that. Um, don't know if that's valid or not. So let's compile and see what happens. Per usual. Okay. So declaration of DQ melee trace hides previous local declaration. Wow. Okay. Guess I could just do that. And then I can't delete. Um, oh yeah, I'm also forgetting to requeue them. Like that. Um, So I guess instead of like, so cancel melee trace, maybe I don't have to do it like that. Not sure. Yeah, I don't want to return true too early here, actually. Guess I want to do it somewhere here. Then we can go back here. And then so basically, if the trace is found, I feel like I would have to be doing redundant stuff anyway. So just for fun, let's just do this. Then I want to say I essentially want to remove that item. Um, let's see. The fact that there's no music is starting to bother me. I need something playing in my ear. That's so confusing. I don't want to play Spotify or anything. So I know I need to do probably a reverse. So reverse for loop. Something along the lines of this. So for int I equals num. Then we can say, so if melee requests I dot trace equals trace ID. Yes. I don't want to return true just yet. But we got all that. And then we remove that, and then we add stuff all the way back into the queue. This is all canceling, so I can just do this. Now I guess I can make a bool. So bool be canceled by user equals false. And I could say true, and then we return that. So maybe that will work. Let's see if we get any kind of compilation errors. Sick, we do. Let's see what's up. So items array. Okay, so let's see. Just need to do that. Let's see. Okay, so Q. Let's try yet again. Let's see if that'll work. Okay. So this can't be null, which I think is fine. All right, build succeeded. We did it. We're amazing. So we're still not out of the woods yet. We now need to update the notify state. We basically have to, I think we have to include the subsystem. So it's gonna be what? Hash include. I think we have to do that. Now I have to say what? So how to access subsystem? Don't know if I need the world. Maybe. So yeah, I do need the world. So you got subsystem melee tree subsystem equals get world like that, and then if we need to say we'll say request sphere melee trace. So instigator, we're gonna say get owner, right? No, it's mesh comp. Get owner. Then we need to pass in a radius. So we're definitely gonna need some parameters. So public view property at anywhere, blah blah blah. Yes. So float trace sphere radius equals sure. So u property, not f name. What else do we need? Radius. Oh yeah, socket name start. I don't think I need to initialize that to anything. See, that's the F name that I needed. I don't know why I made me do that. So again, so we have radius, socket name start, so object types. Don't need that, like that. There we go. That should be okay. What else? Sphere trace radius, object types, and then melee trace notify ID. And then on end, I would like to say, let me just make sure. I say melee. I have to do the subsystem again. So boom, boom, boom. But I want to say now. So if melee trace subsystem, no. I guess I could say, if melee trace ID that is valid and melee trace subsystem is melee trace in progress. Blah, 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 blah. Not what I want. Then I can say I think that's gonna be good. I don't know. All right, so bad or missing bit field size for private must be 1. So I guess we can say I say like E object type query. I guess that's fine, right? I think it was just missing a semicolon. No. No. Okay. What? So cannot convert T subsystem class to let's find out. Okay, is it because it's not a pointer? Yes, okay. Hopefully that's it. So left of dot request root must have blah 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 blah. What's wrong with that? Oh, it's no longer a dot. Since it's a pointer now. Then the function does not take 4 arguments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're missing the socket start. Like that. Hopefully that's kosher now. Don't know. Forgot to do that. Boom. Compile successful. We're amazing. I'm gonna see what happens if I just quit my not operating system, my browser, and reopen it. Wonder if it's gonna let me use YouTube properly. Maybe it needed to be updated, and now is the problem. Moment of truth. No, still broken the YouTube. Maybe I have to do a PC restart for some reason. I'll do it later. So now we should be able to test this out for realsies. Boom, boom, boom. And knowing me when I code this stuff, it's probably gonna crash the first time I try doing it. So hopefully it doesn't. But part of the process. So let's not use what we were using before, this ANS melee trace. We can just replace it, I think. So I have right click, notify state, and then I do GASE melee trace notify state. Okay. So like clockwork, seems like it crashed. So let's see why. Did I not initialize something properly? So int num. Okay, so let's find out. Let's ask the internet first. See if we get anything interesting off of Google. So UE5 notify state crashes when adding to montage. So crash when previewing montage with custom notifies. We got something that might be what we need. So I have not been able to reproduce this crash. Having the same issue. Slots. I don't know. Let's see. So notify state crashes when adding to montage. Let's see if the AI gives me anything better than Google. So a crash occurring when adding a notify state to a montage is likely due to one of the following issues: invalid memory access. This can happen if the notify state object or any of its properties like pointers or other references are not correctly instantiated. So Unreal Engine uses containers like tsparse array, mismatch in memory steps to fix it. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So this might be it. So Unreal's internal systems like tsparse array, blah, 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 used by AnimMontage for managing notify states can crash if you exceed array bounds or attempt to access an uninitialized entry. Internally, if there are issues with the blah, blah, blah. So using uninitialized or invalid notify state objects, incorrect memory allocation. Well, I do call the supers when necessary. So I am checking all that. So do I have to do all that stuff first? Seems like it crashed on begin. So maybe it's because I'm trying to get the world. So is world valid while in editor? Probably not. So I think I have to check if we're in editor or not, probably. So most likely, I think that's going to be the problem. So hopefully, yeah, I'm probably going to have to do something like that. Because like in the end, I want to see if I can implement also like being able to visualize the traces in editor too. I don't know how I'm going to do that. But assuming this is going to crash if I open up the montage, which I'm not going to. I guess I have to say, like, first, like, if, can I just say if get world? They also say, like, if G is editor, so if get world. That, I think that's going to be kosher. And then I got to do the same thing again. So if not get world, turn. I guess I can write it like that. Let me write it identically. So, no. I like writing it like that. So if get world that should hopefully be okay. And since we only messed with the source file, we should be able to hot reload that. Fingers crossed this time around. Okay. So can I find this Superman punch? Let's put in our melee trace again. Okay. So where is our trace? Melee trace. So the bone name that we put in this example is hand R. And then the object types we're checking for is character mesh. I don't think anything's gonna show visually. We could try. All right, at least nothing crashed. But yeah, we got also draw. Okay, hold on. I spoke too soon. No. Why did that freeze like that? Did I get any errors? So melee trace instigator actor is not initialized privately, even though its struct probably has a default constructor. So instigator actor is not constructed correctly. I just say equals null. Okay, so for now, so where are we actually processing? So draw, debug, type. It is for duration. So we should actually see these things. Interesting. So something is definitely not working. Let's just do another hot reload for a sec. And we can evaluate. Yeah, definitely something. Ideally would draw. So do we even get here? Is I guess the first question. No. And again, when I quit play in editor, it's a huge freeze. So let me play and exit. So again, yeah, exiting even by itself is pretty long. I don't like that. So let's look at the notify state. So we should be able to get to request, right? And we should get to there. And we don't. Now that because of how the editor's acting right now. Like, what is this problem? Do we even reach this, I guess? No. What? Why? Hmm. Okay, we need to do another hot reload. Okay. Now, okay, we get there. So, get world. Doesn't work. Interesting. So, get world from anim notify state. So I have to do it from the mesh component? Okay. Guess that makes sense. So I want to say, so instead of that, I want to say if mesh comp I don't want to get world checked. I just want to get world. Hopefully that's better. Ow. Let's try that again. And I wonder, can you use a world subsystem in editor? I don't think you can, obviously, because world is assumed at that point. So yes, you can use a world subsystem in the Unreal Editor, but whether the subsystem will be valid depends on the type of world and the specific flow of execution. So there's editor worlds. These exist when you're editing levels in the Unreal Editor. Subsystem can also exist in editor worlds, but there's some restrictions and differences. Okay. Some tasks can be accomplished in the editor world using subsystems. However, subsystems accessing gameplay-specific features like actors, physics, blah, 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 may be invalid. So how to use a world subsystem in both editor and runtime? If you want your world subsystem to behave correctly in both contexts, you need to design it to handle editor-specific logic gracefully. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I wonder if I can just use like the the is an editor kind of check. We'll find out. Boop boop boo. So yeah, I also wonder. Like, I wonder if there's anything going on with my computer at the moment that's causing it to like derp out in multiple different ways. Because YouTube is not playing anything correctly, and then when I play an editor and quit play an editor, it freezes, which I don't like. I'm very worried about that, honestly. Or I'll have to see. I also haven't. I haven't. What's the word? I haven't packaged my game in a while. Should probably do that this week just to confirm that I can still, package and become an executable, and then fix those issues. But we'll take things one at a time. No big deal. Because yeah, once we get spheres supported, then we can do boxes and capsules. Then we want to try to support enemies, not enemies, weapons. And then yeah, we're gonna try to make it data driven as well. But yeah, okay. So the problem now is what? Ah, okay. So I want to say what uworld notify world equals this, and then notify world like that. Let's copy that down here. Hopefully that will do it. Boo, 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 boo. These headphones are starting to like hurt my head. I want to, at the very least, prove that this works and we're getting the traces and they're like, even if it's still broken, I still want to just see if the traces are happening. And then I think we can call it a night from there. What's wrong? So a conditional expression of type uworld is not valid. Okay, so I say that, and then if see that? I feel like no. I have to make a pointer. Maybe that's why it failed originally. One more time, just to be certain. Cool. So I should just be able to move this back into that. One more compile. And then we check. Da, 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 da. I also have to figure out. Ah. Yeah, I was wondering what. For some reason, I thought my desk wasn't working, my standing desk. No, I realize it does work. I feel like I have so much shit on this desk that it's gonna just collapse at any moment. Let's pray. And then, yeah, I'll let you guys know tomorrow if I'm able to address this issue with, when the editor closes, it freezes. Yeah, it's no bueno. And I don't know why it's doing that. Because yeah, maybe maybe the subsystem, like when we're in editor, we don't invoke the subsystem at all. We just have like some basic thing. I feel like that's just doing too much, So hopefully we can be able to use it. I don't know. We're gonna find out if it still crashes though. So let's open this back up and we'll see what happens. And if it crashes, then so be it. All right, we're good. But as you see, still no traces or anything showing there, but maybe that's okay. But maybe it'll show. Okay. Okay, it's just a breakpoint. It's just a breakpoint. Okay, so we still have the problem. We're exiting. The editor freezes, which is not great still. And I wonder if it's because of this. So let me save, play, and close. No, it's not because of that. I guess that's good. Yeah, we go boom, boom, boom. So the problem is on notify end, the request doesn't properly get closed. I guess at least we have something we can check now. So we passed the vibe checks there. So do we get to this point? There's no way to know right now. We have to do another reload. Is there any information? So, GUI5 editor freezes when exiting Pi. Does this have any information about that? So subsystems tied to UWorld instances are destroyed when Pi ends. Attempting to access a destroyed or invalid Pi thing resource leaks. How to diagnose the issue. So fixing the issue. Below are some recommendations specific to that. I heard live coding can be a little buggy, but never saw something like this. Well, you never know. Yeah, you have to be careful. I do want to. All right, let's just see if we're properly closing this. So no. So that breakpoint is never hit. So we're never passing is melee trace in progress. So something's failing there for sure. Because again, I assume we get to here. Which we do. So we get to melee trace in progress. So we're getting there. So melee trace requests are empty. So here's our queue. Then we can go. Do we get to here? No. So this seems to be failing. Okay. So I think I need to check if I even get to there. So yeah, we don't even get there. So on here, we say request melee trace. We do this, blah, blah, blah. Melee trace request queue dot in queue. We provide the trace ID and everything. Because we should get to there. When we first play the montage. Which we do. And then we eventually, I thought eventually we would get to here. But yeah, for some reason, the queue is empty. Am I doing anything? Because they were processing them. I mean, do we get to this? Am I dequeuing it or something? Are you using Windows 3, Windows 11 updates can fuck things up? Maybe. Yeah, so we're doing this. So we get there. That makes sense. So if it's not empty, okay, so I think this is what's causing. So if it's not empty, we dequeue it. So maybe that's not what I want to be doing. Not sure. Because it seems like it processes it and then we immediately kind of end it, which we don't really want. So maybe that's the problem. I think I'm using Windows 11. And I know I did, I think that my computer did update recently. So maybe it's all connected, man. But yeah, see, this is kind of what the potential problem is. Because I'm just checking if there's an active request or not. And then if there isn't, then I'm making, like, I'm taking it out of the queue and making it the active one. So I feel like I'm handling this badly. Because yeah, I definitely need this at the end. Like I feel like it's gonna break in other ways. Because maybe a TQ isn't the best way. I feel like it is. Let's see what happens here. We'll probably have to continue tomorrow. We'll see. So yeah, they're using the example they give is a T map. Maybe I should switch it over to a T map. Internally map it. Maybe that's better. I don't know if I should be using a queue. Maybe that's just a bad idea. Because basically, on Tick, we want to process these requests. So let's just make the bold assumption that this isn't going to work, and we'll switch over to a T map instead of a TQ. Shouldn't be too bad. Like the reason I don't know if I need to even use a T map. I think I could just use an array. Because the GUIDs could be part of the structure. And that way I don't have to like do all that like redundant like enqueuing and all that crap to like cancel them. Like the stuff that I'm doing up here when I want to check if it's in progress and all that stuff seems unnecessary then. So let's see. Yeah. Not even working and we're getting crappy results, so let's make it an array. We'll do that tomorrow. Shouldn't be too hard, honestly. Because yeah, we want to let me write a to do here. So there's a add console command thing. So switch to an array rather than a queue. And yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. And hopefully, after I restart my computer, it'll start behaving a little bit better. So that's where I'm gonna end it for tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Unity Fighter, thank you so much for the subscription and for the follow. Talos, thanks for hanging out and talking. I'll be back tomorrow and as well as Wednesday. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Have a good rest of your night, guys. I'll see you soon.